My name is Isao Machii, and ever since I was a child growing up in Japan, I have been fascinated by the blade, not as a weapon of war, but as an instrument of discipline, focus, and spiritual clarity. People often call me the modern samurai, though I see myself simply as a man who dedicated his life to mastering the sword, body, and mind. My journey began when I was about 5 years old. I remember watching a katana demonstration for the first time. The sound of steel slicing through the air resonated deep within me. From that day, I trained relentlessly in the ancient art of iaido, the way of drawing and cutting. My teacher taught me that every movement of the sword must be the reflection of one's inner state, stillness, precision, and harmony. Over time, the sword became an extension of my own body, and my body an extension of the sword. As I grew older, I began to test the limits of what seemed humanly possible. My strikes became faster, my reactions sharper. Eventually, I started breaking records recognized by Guinness World Records, slicing a BB pellet in midair, cutting 10 jogoza mats with a single stroke, or severing objects moving faster than the eye can track. Scientists who studied me discovered that my reaction time to visual stimuli is far beyond normal human capability. I can perceive and act on motion in fractions of a second, faster than most people can even register it consciously. Some researchers have speculated that I might have genetic differences, particularly in how my motor neurons and visual cortex process information. My brain seems to predict movement before it actually happens, allowing me to react almost instantaneously. Whether this is truly a genetic anomaly or the result of decades of training, I cannot say. What I do know is that the boundaries of human potential are far wider than most imagine. My training is not about speed alone. Every morning begins with meditation, often before dawn. I sit in silence, focusing on my breathing until the mind becomes empty and the world narrows to the rhythm of air entering and leaving my body. From this state of calm, I begin my sword practice. The blade must move without hesitation, without the interference of thought. In my dojo, I teach that the enemy is not outside, it is the doubt, fear, and noise within one's own mind. I have trained for years to master the technique known as Shinkendo, a comprehensive discipline that unites swordsmanship, philosophy, and physical control. Each cut, whether it's a downward strike, kesagiri, or a horizontal slash, yokogiri, must be perfect, not just in strength, but in timing and intent. To me, a sword strike is like a musical note, meaningless if played without emotion or purpose. I study every movement, sometimes filming them at thousands of frames per second, analyzing the tiniest variations in my stance, wrist angle, or breath. Many ask how I can slice a BB gun pellet traveling at over 300 kilometers per hour. The truth is that it isn't about sight, it's about perception. I don't wait to see the pellet, I anticipate it. Through training, my brain and body have learned to act as one, interpreting sound, motion, and instinct in a single flow. This is the state known as mushin, the mind without thought. In mushin, there is no separation between self and action. That I have a neurological edge similar to that of elite athletes or fighter pilots, but refined through thousands of hours of deliberate practice. Perhaps that's true, but I believe the sword itself has shaped my senses, forcing my body to evolve beyond its limits. The blade teaches humility and patience. It reveals how fragile and extraordinary human life truly is. When I perform public demonstrations, people often see only the spectacle, a man cutting impossible targets with supernatural precision. But for me, every demonstration is a meditation, a dialogue between my spirit and the steel. My goal is not to impress, but to inspire others to discover their own hidden potential. The sword is merely a path, one that leads inward, to understanding and peace. Today, I continue to train, to refine my art, and to teach a new generation of swordsmen and women. I often tell my students that the greatest enemy of skill is arrogance. A true samurai must never stop learning, never stop listening to the silence between movements. My life has been shaped by countless hours of repetition, of failure and rediscovery. If I possess something unusual, be it genetic, mental, or spiritual, it is only because I have dedicated my entire existence to the pursuit of mastery. The sword is not about cutting, it is about seeing. Seeing the world as it truly is, sharp, fleeting, and infinitely beautiful.